guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, keep me a favorite yachty y'all. Hey y'all do not understand how long it has actually been since I've sat down in front of this camera to film a video, especially a talk through video. Dana's about to bust through that door any second now, actually. Yeah, so first of all, if you can hear the TV in the background, I apologize. My kids are watching cartoons, so yeah, just excuse that. But anyways, today I'm gonna kind of be getting ready. As you can tell, I'm still in my little nightgown. Real quick before I even start, y'all, look at this baby bump. Y'all, look how big I am now. I'm like massive. Yes, so baby King is doing great. Like, he's doing really great. And yeah, everything's just good. I just have had a lot that's been going on, but anyways, that's not what this video is about. I'm actually gonna be telling you guys the story time, finally, of my crazy ass roommate that I had in Pittsburgh. While I tell this story, I'm gonna be getting ready. It's gonna be really quick though, because this is just gonna be kind of my lazy day. Just like, I want to look a little bit fresh and upbeat, but I don't want to look like I'm wearing product. That kind of look, that's what I'm going for today. So about three and a half years ago, I lived in Pittsburgh. And by lived in Pittsburgh, that's gassing it up a little bit, honestly. I went there trying to see if I could live there. So it was sort of supposed to be a transition. My sister was living there. And you know, we was about to have a hurricane in Florida and stuff. So she was like, girl, come on down. So it started out as like an evacuation process, and I was like there with her, and I really loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I would actually live in Pittsburgh. It's a nice area to be in. Yeah, so I was in Pittsburgh, and this girl, I met her while I was working out there. She worked at the same place as me, and I'm looking in the mirror behind me. And yeah, so she worked at the same place as me, and you know, we kind of hit it off. She seemed really cool at first. Like, she was, I don't know, y'all, I'm like not one of those people that's like intimidated by pretty people. I'm actually drawn to pretty girls. Like, I love when all my friends are like bad AF. Like, I just love that shit. Like, it makes me feel so good when I'm just walking with a clique and we all fine as hell. So yeah, she was like really pretty. She was like a mixed chick, and she was like Spanish. So that should, let me not say that should have been my first red flag, but y'all, I'm gonna end up using a sponge because I think I put way too much on here. I'm just gonna rub this all over and then use a sponge to kind of get it to be where I want it to be at. Anyways, yeah, so I met her, we hit it off, and we was kind of like hanging out quite a bit. Like, even when I wasn't working, like, we would go out and do stuff. Dang, like, I done got dark real fast. This used to like really be a good match, but right now she's looking a little bit light. Anyways, yeah, so we hung out and stuff a couple times. God lord, I need a bite. And long story short, my sister was moving out of Pittsburgh. She was coming here actually to Fort Wayne to stay with my mom. And I was kind of like left high and dry. I was like, dang, like, where am I finna go? You know, like, I didn't want to go back to Florida. And I also, like, I didn't have enough money saved up because everything kind of happened really fast. So I didn't have any money like saved up to get my own place in Pittsburgh just yet. So I was kind of like in a tough spot. And at the time I had Chrissy with me as my daughter. And you know, she was really young. And I was just like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? If it was just me, I could have easily got a little cheap spot. But it's not just me, you know. And yeah, I'm just not gonna do that. Anyways, long story short, this girl was like, you know, you can come stay with me and whatever. But from the very beginning, y'all, I should have known, like, I should have known something was up, because she didn't want her landlord to know about it, and she just kept saying like he's like really adamant about it being just one person that he's renting to. And this ain't my first rodeo. I've lived places before, and I know how like leasing goes. Like, it's just really all about the money. So I just couldn't understand when she was saying like she didn't want to tell him. I was like, I mean, logically, I expect that once he finds out that probably you have somebody else living here, maybe he'll want to up the price on the rent. But that's okay, because, you know, I was helping her at the time paying her rent. So I was just like, I mean, it's cool if he charge a little bit extra, and at least I know like my name would be on the lease or whatever, you know. But I should have definitely been adamant about that. Anyways, she insisted on not doing that. She definitely was like, yeah, we're just not gonna say anything. And I was just like, all right, whatever, you know. Beggars ain't choosers. So I went and stayed with her anyways, with no form of security. Don't do that. And yeah, it was cool at first, but then she started doing like a lot of crazy stuff. So she had a son, and I'm not gonna speak ill of her son, because I just don't speak ill of children, but let me just say he was not very well behaved. I don't know if he had any form of like disabilities or anything like that, but at the time, like, my child was like 2 and something. She was about to be 3, or she was just like just about 3, and her son was like 5. And he literally acted like so much younger than my daughter. He just did a bunch of like really crazy stuff, and I just felt like, I don't know if it's because he was a boy or what, he just required a lot of work. And he didn't live with her, so she would have him like, it seemed like every other weekend. And for somebody who only had their son every other weekend, yo, when I tell you, every time that little boy came over, she always would make plans to do something else. So she would have like nail appointments and stuff like that. And I guess she just assumed that because I was staying there, like this was my responsibility as well. So she would just be like, hey, watch my son. And it never was like a case where she was asking. It was almost like she was telling me to watch him, and like if I didn't watch him, it was gonna be problems. Because the few times that I was like, oh, I had something that I had to do, or just like, no, I want to sleep, or just whatever, you know, she dead ass would be so petty for the next couple of days. She would just be doing weird shit around the house, and I would just be so annoyed, like, oh my god, like, this is just so childish. And I'm just like I'm not used to dealing with stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, where I was coming from in Florida, that was my apartment, and I opened my doors to like 6 different people, and I never ever like had nobody in my house feeling like not welcomed, or feeling like they were obligated to do anything at all for me just because they were staying with me. Like, everybody's their own grown up. Like, no, I just never did that. So I never understood that. And yeah, like I said, I just said no sometimes. Like, no, for one, this is your child. I don't know him well enough. And like I said, he was not like an easy child to deal with, and I didn't want to lose my patience on somebody else's child. I know how I raised my child, and I made sure my child didn't act like that, because I know my patience level. So it just, to me, it seemed like she was asking me a lot. Y'all can tell me if you feel like, you know, because I was staying with her, you know, oh, Kim, you could have just watched him, you know. I don't know, maybe I was really just being an ass, but I just didn't feel like it was my responsibility to watch him. But anyways, yeah, so that happened, and like I said, every time I said no, she would just be really petty. And Like, I'm talking super petty, because at the time I wasn't driving or anything either, and she would have to take me to work and stuff like that. I'm talking about, we work at the same place, remember, and this girl would literally even like just be on the road and just like, I'm waiting on her to like take me to work, and she don't show up, and she's just at work by herself, and I'm like, dang. So yeah, eventually I got fired at my job, running around doing errands for her, because this one day she had and this was kind of like when I started to like draw the line, because she was like constantly like staying out at like people, like hanging out with people and spending the night. And then she would like call me. I'm talking about, I was working third shift, so I would get home at like 6 in the morning, between like 6 and 7, and she would be calling me like 8 o'clock in the morning, like telling me that there's a package coming and I need to like look out for her package and stuff like that. And I mean, it's cool because I'm home, but why are you not here? If this package is so important to you, like where were you at and why are you not here? Why am I like responsible for all your stuff now? Like, I just don't get it. And like, that was when I really started getting irritated, and I was like, oh my god, like there was this like wild tension in the house. Like, it was just like so weird, so freaking weird. And she would be staying out, and this one day she wanted to get her nails done, and she wanted me to watch her son once again. And I just was tired of the pettiness and whatever. So I was just like, all right, fine. First of all, I have nail appointments. I did not expect it to take that long. She knew I had to work, so I could only watch him for just, you know, obviously a reasonable amount of time, since you know I have work. Nah, bruh. She brought me to that nail salon, and her son was being so bad. She asked me to like stay in the car with him instead, because he was just embarrassing her in the salon. So I was just like sitting outside with her son and waiting for her. And I don't know if she just decided to do the most complicated nails ever, or just do something extra, but she took so long. Like, I was literally like watching the time go by, and mind you, I'm sitting in her car, so I obviously can't drive away and drive myself to work when I'm stuck with her child. And I'm just like hoping that she would have a conscience and just kind of be like, okay, like I'm just gonna drop her off at work and come right back, you know, since by that point like she already at least got her fingernails done. Like, you know, come back and do your toes like maybe another time. No, that's not what happened. She had me sit there the whole time, and yeah, I ended up having to call my job to kind of explain that, you know, that I was babysitting and whatever. And basically my job was not having it. They were like, yeah, no, you're fired. And I was, of course, with great reason, very upset, because for one, like, that's why I was living with this girl in the first place, because I didn't even have enough money to get my own spot. And you know, I managed to land a job that was paying me decent, and I was like literally trying to get my shit together, save up and all that. And this girl made me lose my job. And at the time, I didn't have my green card yet, so it wasn't that easy to just go find another job. It was really difficult, actually. And you know, I was saving up my money for my green card. Like, I was, you know, having my child to take care of. Like, it just was, I had a lot of responsibilities, and I just feel like this girl was just I don't know, she just was, it wasn't her responsibility, but at the same time, like, she really was acting like I was supposed to be like responsible for her responsibilities, but then she showed total disregard to everything that I had going on. And this day was just the final straw for me. I was really upset. So yeah, I ended up kind of like staying out. Then I came back later that day trying to like just avoid her, because I just didn't even want to get in an argument. But I just didn't know what to say to her at that point, because it was just like, who does that? Like, who does that? Like, who do you know that does that? Jesus. So, and then she worked the same place, and she left her son with me yet again after her son made me get fired in the first place. And she went to work, and she was like acting like she felt bad that I got fired. So she was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to them when I get there and just explain that you were watching my son, blah 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 blah. Nah, yeah, none of that happened, baby. None of that happened. She went to work, she came home that night, and she basically was just like, you know, just let me know it's a done deal. A bitch is fired. I am fired. I don't got a job no more. And I was just like, cool, you know, cool, whatever. And yeah, she packed up her little overnight bag. She dropped off her son, like, back at, I guess, his dad's. And she never came home that night. So the gag is, the next morning, like really early, like she texted me at like 7 and said, you know, she had a package that she wanted. She said it was an important package, and if I could, like, you know, look out for the package. So I said yes, because I mean, I can look out for it, but that doesn't mean that I'm about to like stay up and like wait for this package, you know what I mean? Anyways, I guess I fell asleep, and the person with the package, like, they came and they needed a signature, and I was sleeping, so she was blowing up my phone, and I never saw it until like after the fact. And so I woke up to literally like a barrage of messages from her, and she was just like cussing me out, y'all, like calling me out my name. She was like, get out my freaking house, like all kinds of shit. And I was like, what? So I just, you know, like, I just woke up and I'm reading all this, like, what? Like, she's kicking me out? Like, I was so confused. I was like, oh hell no. So I didn't even know how to respond, honestly, because she seemed so upset. I was just like, damn, like, I just don't get it. Like, when UPS or whatever, like, they come to drop off your stuff and you're not there, they just bring it to the freaking post office. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And if it was that big of a deal, I feel like you should have been there to come get it yourself. Anyways, she decided that she wanted to yeah, she wanted to kick me out. And I was like, dang, like, that's a little bit crazy, but whatever, you know, I can't argue with you. So, you know, I told her I was gonna leave and all that, but logically I had to get my shit together. Like, I don't live here, I'm not from here, so I'm like packing up my stuff and all that stuff. Yo, I'm in the middle of trying to figure out like how I'm gonna leave and where I'm gonna go and whatever. And I left for a little bit. I packed up some of my stuff and I left for a little bit. I had a friend come get me, and I left to, you know, like, get myself together. And I guess she showed up during this time, and so I come back now to, you know, just come get the rest of my stuff. Y'all, this girl has changed the locks. She's changed the locks. The rest of my belongings are inside, like all my makeup. I have like clothes, like my stuff is just like not even there. And so quick backpedal, because I'm like all over the place with this story. But about 2 weeks before that, I made the decision to send Chrissy to Jamaica to her dad for a little bit, because like I said, this is when stuff kind of started getting crazy with Shorty, and I just felt like I really needed to just buckle down, just get my money up and just get out of there, because she was acting very erratic, and I could see something like this happening soon. But I was hoping that I would have been like ahead of the game, and I would have already been hit her with, like, I felt like I was gonna be the one to like hit her with the surprise, like she come home and I just had moved out and she didn't even know, you know what I mean? Or I just like tell her like randomly, you know, I appreciate you letting me stay here, probably give her a little bit of money and just dipset the next day, you know? But this completely took me by surprise, and I was just like, damn, you know, So Chrissy wasn't like there or anything, which is great, but still at the same time I'm like standing outside like what the hell. So I honestly didn't know what to do, because yeah, this shit was frustrating the shit out of me. Like I had already booked a bus ticket, and yeah, like I was working on a time frame. Like I need to pack up all my stuff and I need to be at the station. If you've ever taken like a flight or train or bus anywhere, there's a time frame that you have to be there. And I'm just like sitting around like, bro, like at this point I'm so mad. I want to fucking kick the door in and bash her face in. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so upset, like so upset. Like how do you want me to leave but you have all my stuff in your house? Like bitch, what? Like you're better off than me according to you, and you're working and all this. You just got me fired. I don't got a job. Like why do you want to keep my stuff? Like that was so crazy. We're not even the same complexion. What are you doing with my makeup? So I was just like, oh my god, like this girl is driving me up the friggin' wall. So I was talking to a couple people and they were trying to keep me calm, honestly, and I really felt like I was about to get myself in a lot of deep shit, because when I tell you she was making me furious, she was making me furious, and I have a bit of a temper, so that Jamaican shit started coming out, and I was just like, bruh, I do not play these games. I don't play these games at all. I don't do this. Like there's a reason I keep my circle small. Like I don't do drama, I don't do none of that shit. So I ended up calling the cops, because I was just like, yeah, there needs to be a mediator here, because I just need to get my stuff. That's all I want. I just need to get my stuff so I can get out of here. And yeah, so she ended up, hold on, let me just get some face powder. Yeah, so the cops showed up. And I was thinking, you know, that would have kind of like simmered out the situation. You know, they would have got everything under control, because that is their job. And most like sane people kind of do calm down when the cops arrive. Especially when you have kids and shit like that. It's like ain't nobody trying to go to jail over nothing stupid. So I was just thinking that she would have calmed down. Anyways, nope. Oh my god, they came, and this is the most confusing shit ever. So she's a mixed chick, yes, but she is like black as well, you know, like she's lighter than me, she's Dominican. You know how, I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm gonna just say it, there's a lot of like Hispanic people who like they're dark, like they're darker than you, and yes, they're Hispanic, but like they just don't want to acknowledge the fact that they are also black. Like anybody that's from the Caribbean, you're black, honey. Like check history, just consult the historians. That's all I'm gonna say, is just that. Like there's one thing from being like Spain or something like that, but you're not from Spain, sweetheart. Your family's from DR, so you know damn well in your lineage there's somebody that was black. So yeah, she was like, I guess because the cops came and they were like obviously on my side, because she was really acting crazy, and the cops like felt for me. The guy was like, he even said, he said this is like the one time he would actually understand somebody beating somebody's ass, because when I tell you shorty was doing the most, she was really doing the most. And even when the cops came, I think that made her even more mad, because she was smoking and stuff, and like she was literally, to show you how irrational of a person she is, she was like hanging outside up for her window. So she opened up her window and she was like hanging out her window and like throwing a bunch of insults at the cops. That she was calling them like, I can't even repeat what she was saying, but she was saying a bunch of like racist stuff, I guess because they were siding with me and she felt like she was not black. So she was like, you know, saying that they were what's it not lovers and all kind of stuff. And they were like, what? Like they were confused because, you know, like I said, she's black and one of the cops was black, and it was just dumb. And we was all out there just like, girl, like you're reaching so hard. And she was like saying all kinds of stuff, and the cops was like really getting angry as well. And like one of the cops even told her, like, you know, I could smell so much weed coming out of your apartment. That's like probable cause for us to kick your door in, just so you know. And she was like, go ahead, I already smoked it all, you're not gonna find any, blah blah blah. And yeah, it just was like a complete fucking shit show. Anyway, she ended up opening up the door, but she wouldn't come outside, of course, because she's a coward. She stood in her, like, right by the door, literally right by the door. She opened the door, but she was standing in the doorway. And they were like, you know, just let her get her things. And she came to the door with like my makeup bag, and she threw the entire thing. Like, she threw the whole case, like threw it so fucking hard. And I was, y'all, even thinking about it right now, I was so freaking mad. I had like over like thousands of dollars worth of makeup. Like, I always had a bunch of makeup, and I was like, this bitch just threw all my shit. Like oh, I wanted to pick up the whole case and slap the shit out of her with it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when she did that, I charged at her, because I was just like, bitch, like, oh, don't touch my stuff. Like, just let me come get my own shit. Like, let me come get my own shit. And I just do not understand a disrespectful fucking person, especially with other people's property. I don't play with people's property, because technically, if I had wanted to really pursue that shit, I could have brought her ass to court for all my makeup that was broken. But honestly, I ended up just leaving, and I just did not want to see nor hear from this girl ever again. And honestly, I really had felt like for the longest while, I felt like anywhere I see her, it's on site. And man, I was so mad. Like, I've never felt like that, like disrespected in my life. And it just was crazy to me that all of this was over me not picking up her package. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you like literally insane? Like, it's a dumb question, because you're obviously insane, because nobody does that. And like, even the cops was really surprised. Like, she kept throwing all my stuff outside, and they had to like kind of give her a warning, like she's not allowed to do that. And she didn't give a fuck. She was like cussing at them and all kinds of stuff. And I swear, like, after a while, they just wanted to like just put their hands up and be like, listen, whatever the fuck happens here, we don't see nothing. Because shorty was really asking for an ass whooping. Like, she really was. And I was very prepared to give it to her, like so prepared. But basically, that's the gist of it. All in all, it ended up being like all for the best, because shockingly, that's when I met my husband, like leaving this crazy ass bitch. And y'all can understand now if y'all watch the video when I told the story time of how we met. If you have not, you should. And I was talking about how when I met him, I was like really not in a good place, and I was like crazy looking, and I was just like really upset, and I was not in the mood to talk to nobody. And when he kept trying to talk to me, and then I ended up just ranting, and I was like, listen, I told him about the whole situation with the girl, and I was like, I'm feeling like I was dead ass finna kill this bitch. And like, him just listening to me as a stranger, I don't know how the hell he found that shit attractive, but I guess he likes crazy. But I was, listen, it all just was crazy. And that's what I meant by like everything happens for a reason too, because messing with her ass, I ended up missing the first Greyhound that I had booked. So I ended up on a backup bus, and that's why I ended up being at the station for that many hours, like waiting on another bus, because this bitch made me miss my friggin' bus. So I really was not supposed to be in that Greyhound station at the time that I was, but at the same time I was, because I was meant to meet my lovely husband. And yeah, like, y'all, sometimes life just gets hectic, but you just gotta trust the process and know that in the grand scheme of things, everything is meant to be exactly the way it is, like even if you don't think so. And whew, that whole situation, I'm glad I didn't do anything crazy and ended up going to jail, because I definitely wouldn't have met my man. He would have probably seen me on the news. But yeah, that was crazy, right? Like, I'm not bugging. That is a crazy ass situation, is it not? Like, who invites somebody to live at their house and then act like they're their mate? Like it just was so insane. She would do like crazy shit. Like, whenever she'd be mad at me for like not watching her son or whatever, she would, for one, she would go in my room and pick up my shit, like without even asking. I'm guessing because she just felt like it's her house, which is cool. But this is exactly why I had wanted to talk to the landlord and let my presence be known, because literally, like, you know, she gave me the space, but when I moved in there, it was an empty room and an empty living room and stuff. And I helped her like with groceries. I was paying a part of the rent, and I bought all the stuff that I had in my room. You know, I had to buy myself a bed and all that stuff. And I'm telling you, I would just come home and she would have her son in my bed sleeping and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with kids, but I feel like if I'm like staying in your place and I'm like contributing money and I'm staying in this room, like, this is my personal space. Like, don't be all up in here just doing whatever you want to do. Like, that just really was crazy to me. And like I said, it just was not gonna work out. I knew that once I moved in, and the way how she was acting, I was like, yeah, I don't do that, honey. I don't do that. And she would like, whenever, like, if we would have a little falling out, she would like pick up all her stuff out the bathroom. Like, if she had bought the body wash or something, like, she would pick it up, like all those like little stuff. And I'd be like, girl, body wash is cheap as shit. I could go buy body wash. So if you think you finna make me mad because you picked up the body wash, okay, do you? But she sure as hell did make me mad throwing my makeup back like that. I was like, ooh, girl, you don't even know. But I'm glad she didn't have to find out. I'm just so glad, because yes, I'm just not about that life. I'm too grown for that now, and too mature, I would like to think. So yeah, I'm glad, really glad the way it turned out. But anyways, yeah, that's like my crazy ass story. I'm just gonna quickly finish up this look. All right, y'all, so I'm editing this video right now, and I actually realized that I left out some key information to this story as well. Okay, so after all that crazy shit happened, right, and I left Shorty's crib, I was literally like on my way back to Florida. And remember I told you about, you know, how I was, you know, about to hop on the bus and all kind of stuff. Anyways, after I left, this girl literally sent me pictures on my phone of like, I guess she had went through my bags and stuff, like, I guess during the period of time that I was there and I was like not home or something, I don't know. But she went through my stuff and she took pictures of my passport and all kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, like, that's crazy. Like, that's real crazy. Remember how I told y'all I didn't have my green card yet? When the cops had came and stuff, she was literally shouting out. She was like, ask her for her green card, ask her for her green card. And they were like, that's not our jurisdiction, we don't care about none of that. Like I said, the cops was really not having it with any of her bullshit anyways, because she was just acting so crazy. They was just like, I don't give a damn what you saying, like, you're full of shit. And I guess she wasn't pleased. So after I left, she literally sent me pictures of my passport and was like, oh, I'm finna call immigration on your ass and all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, wow, this bitch is really fucking pressed. Really freaking pressed. But I just wanted to add that because you probably be watching this and be like, oh, it wasn't even that crazy. It was just like one blow up. Nah, y'all. Like, it was several things that this girl had did. And I mean, how crazy is that? Like, you staying in somebody's house and like they're going through your stuff like while you're not there. Like, that's really insane. Like, that's really nuts. So yeah, that was a learning lesson for me. Never did that shit again. I don't think I ever had a roommate after that. other than my husband. I don't do roommates no more at all. But yeah, just like before though, before you go, thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. All right guys, that's it for this video. This ended up looking kind of like a full face, but I promise y'all it's really so minimal. Yeah, I promise y'all it's really so minimal. I'm not even wearing lashes or anything like that. But woo, yes, that is it. Y'all tell me what you think about this story time. Tell me if you like my story time videos, if you want to hear more. Let me know. I got stories out the ass, y'all. Like, I done been through so much stuff and seen so much crazy things that I'm telling you, I could really sit here and tell y'all story after story after story. But yeah, I'm gonna spray down my face though, cause there we go. All right, now that's really it. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you're not subscribed though, I know you're not about to leave without subscribing. You know, I upload every Sunday. So yeah, be a part of the family. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and I be uploading ahead of time sometimes to preview. So you can always come over to my channel. Just look videos and you will be able to see in queue what my next video will be. That way you can kind of like get a heads up and know if that's something you'll be interested in watching, or if not, you can always just see what video comes after that, and so on and so forth. And the date will be there when they will be posted. So yeah, just feel free to just do that, and you can set reminders for the exact videos that you want to watch. But anyways, yes, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.